Nice job, Jimmy. You guys noticing the theme with John? I think we're going to have to turn this into an intervention. Right? Next up is a guy that keeps John in line when it comes to fixing things. Looking for cars and pulling deer antlers out of John's grill of his truck. Joe Mondak.
Yeah.
It's on. Is it on?
No.
Yes, I'm
afraid.
We can't hear him.
Get closer.
This close? Wow, that close. All right. You want this one?
The mic stand.
Is it on?
Yeah, there you go.
Well, good evening, everyone. Family, friends,
You gotta put it closer.
innocent bystanders, narrowly escaped John on the highway. We gather tonight not to honor John, but to survive him. You know, his birthday falls close to just Easter. We just got done at Easter, right? Just finished it. Very religious time. So I thought, here's a guy getting a dinner on his birthday, right? I couldn't help but think that 2,000 plus years ago, there were so many people who were prolific in religion who never got a dinner. Never got a dinner. Cain, whose wife divorced him because he wasn't able. Never got a dinner. Never got a dinner.
There we go.
Adam, another key figure in religion, right? Adam, who said to God in the Garden of Eden, I got more ribs, you got more broads? Never got a dinner. And King Solomon, who said to his 1,000 wives, is there anyone that doesn't have a headache? Never got a dinner. But we're here to celebrate John, or as I like to call him, the human espresso shot. Why? Because he's Italian, he's intense, and he'll give you anxiety in 30 seconds. I've known John for 26 years, where we met with our sons playing t-ball, baseball, and our running of the pancake breakfast many a times. I've traveled the East Coast with John, looking for cars. We had vacations together, concerts, dinners. Once we ventured between 3 states to look for a car for John, only for John to buy a car at Damiano's. Right in the backyard. Every trip you took with John was perfectly planned. Every single one. John plans a trip so well that TSA agents ask him for tips. It is once said he organized a layover so smooth that a Delta pilot had an orgasm. He's the only guy I know that has his itineraries have itineraries. On vacation in Atlantic City, I asked him, when are we going to lunch? He handed me a binder and referred me to page 47. Traveling with John feels like being kidnapped by a polite, punctual cult leader. Please look your enlightenment. He plans trips so perfectly. Google Maps updates itself to follow his route. It's very true. He is active in the church, Jen. We decorate, we do lots of things. And because of that, Father Andy was contacted by the Vatican. They want him to plan the next coming. But one car trip is very, very special to me. And I'm sure it is to you, John. It was a beautiful day. I can still remember. It was a beautiful day in this particular Boston suburb. Holy Saturday. Holy Saturday. We had time to kill before an appointment. Flowers were blooming. Beautiful day. The air was full of hints of jasmine and cinnamon. from the Portuguese bakery on the corner. Yeah, remember that? John and I spent the afternoon sampling bakery delights, tarts, macaroons. We window shopped. We visited consignment shops. And we viewed fine china, antique glassware, and daisies.
I still have
Beautiful
it.
day. It was magic. Kevin, you said he was your work spouse? But on that day, John and I became a metrosexual couple. It's a day that no one could take from us. John, or Jen, Lori, thank you for you both for understanding.
Lori didn't know. Left the house at 4 in the morning and put a note on her.
Is there a pregnancy?
But really, when you travel with John, he also gets the best prices on everything. The guy gets the best deals. He gets so many best deals that Black Friday waits for him to tell when the sales are. The car he bought for Damiano's that day, he bought for the price of a Chalope burrito. And the car ran on regret and tears from the salesman. He's the only guy that I ever seen get 110% off. The store paid him to leave. I've seen him haggle at vending machines and win. But it's always a pleasure to be with him. It really is. He invited me to play golf one time. And golfing with me was one of John's greatest charities. I told him I haven't played in 8 years. I haven't touched the club in 8 years. Don't worry about it. Go have fun. I said, all right. But every time I swung the club that day, it looked like he was witnessing a crime. John is a very, very good golfer. Annoyingly good. He makes it look easy. When you watch him play, it looks like you're like watching a statue of Michelangelo come to life. John hits a ball like he drives a car. Fast, aggressive, and is always yelling at someone to get out of the way.
In the road, baby.
Yeah, in the road. He'll birdie a hole and still be annoyed because the divot he left wasn't aesthetically pleasing. John treats golf like a military operation. That's one thing you learn when you're with him. He brings a strategy to every hole. He brought more strategy to every hole than NASA did when they were doing the moon landing. He checks wind speed, barometric pressure, the angle of the grass, the percentage of the ionization of the atmosphere, and if the swallows are en route to catastrophic. But that's why he's good. He has little tolerance, I did find out, for people who lack golf etiquette. Zero patience. If you talk while he's swinging, he not only glares, but he starts drafting your obituary with his And I golfed with him, and he's cleared his throat many a times after. And then he invited me again. And I had to wonder if I was going to end up like Big Pussy on The Sopranos. I didn't know if I was coming back. And you all know he must be in charge. You've heard that from everybody up there. He must be in charge. He probably organized this event, and I can tell you this because I'm taking too long now. And Jen, we don't know how you do it. We really don't, all right? And I hope the therapy's paying off. I hope it is. And is it true that your therapist sends him thank you cards for job security? Jen's emotional support animal left after just one weekend. He ran away. Hamster escaped and joined the biker gang.
Ricky.
Wow. The kid seems normal. He seems okay. I understand his first word that he muttered was compliance. The second word was understand. And the third was a quiet internal scream. It did anyone ever notice how the kid flinches when someone says freedom of thought? That's the John effect. And when you work with John, I know you guys have worked with him on projects, right? When you start working with him, you become his personnel. You're an employee at that point. But I had the privilege to work on John's many car projects with John. Many, and he's helped, he's watched me as well. And I realized that John's mechanical skills were questionable, okay? It was the first time we worked on the Regal. He opened the hood, he stood there staring at the engine like it owed him money. And John, you know, to enhance your skills, all right, I got you this little tool set. And what I want you to understand is that I want you to practice with these. There's nuts and bolts, you can crack your torque settings. But if it wasn't for my cat-like reflexes on a couple of jobs, especially brakes on Nono's car, I might not be here today. Put brakes on a car, John jumps in, starts it, pulls it out without pumping him up. It's an ordeal. And putting a water pump on my truck in Hale's garage one night. It snowed, it was Valentine's Day. You had the pump out.
They had thinking about how.
Yeah. They had the everything on a holiday, right? The day before Easter, day before Thanksgiving. Well, the pump was out, and I was on this little ladder, and I slipped. And before I slipped, John says, "I'm going to the bathroom." Okay, whatever. And I slip. I go in between the engine block and the radiator support. Upside down, my clothes are stuck, and I can't get out. I went to the bathroom. 45 minutes. I'm losing consciousness. He hit me out by taking up my pants. My pants came up to my ankles, and I fell through the engine compartment. I got out, but you saved my life that day. And when you talk about bathroom breaks, like 45 minutes. John Brake, his bathroom breaks are so long, his toilet's divorcing him. It's now dating a buffet. I'm starting to believe that John uses the bathroom as a portal to another world. He's in there so long, he's either time traveling or updating his resume. Like a spiritual pilgrimage for him. The earth makes a rotation by the time he's done. What toilet paper do you use? What if I stock in the company? Scott? Okay, mark that down. It's Scott. And the other theory I have about why he's in there so long is he's writing his memoirs, titled The Odyssey of My Ass. This bathroom is on Google Maps. And did you know it's one of the stops on Louis the Naple Tours discovered Del Moria? But 45 minutes could have been worse. He could have fell asleep in the bathroom. That's right, he falls asleep anyway. This guy sleeps on a picket fence. I'm convinced he was baptized with Nyquil. He falls asleep at Broadway shows, concerts, while driving.
Yeah.
While driving, yeah. He'll have not fun. But he fell asleep one time in the Natural History Museum of Natural History in the Smithsonian. Hundreds of people. He fell asleep against the wall. Japanese tourists, the group were taking pictures of him. Right?
It really happened.
They were taking pictures of him. Yeah.
Sound asleep on the marble floor.
And he must have been, and I'm thinking, he must have cut off Elon Musk someplace along the line. He must have. Hence the self-driving car. That's where the idea came from. Cut off Musk. This was the thing. We're having a GoFundMe to buy him one for our safety. I've learned to bring a 12-pack of Red Bull when he's behind the wheel anymore. But with all that said, John is stand up. John is the most loyal and constant friend you can have. Absolutely. If loyalty had a face, it would look like him. John shows up not when it's convenient, but when it matters. He'll give you the shirt off his back. He wouldn't give you the shirt off his back. He'd iron it first, but he'd give it to you. John is the kind of friend everyone hopes to have. Loyal, generous, and always first to show up when you need something. We joke, John, but we care about you. The people in this room love you, just like I do. I want to wish you a happy birthday, many, many more.